$302,325 is currently the amount of debt that we owe. That is such a huge number to have to say out loud. It's super scary. This is the number we'll be going into 2026 with. Unfortunately, we started out too late. With the holiday months coming up, I see very little money being applied to that number, although I will give it my best effort. But yeah, that's the number we're looking to head into 2026 with. So let's get into the numbers real quick. We have $166,850 currently in student loans. We have 2 student loans. One is mine, and then one is a Parent Plus loan. About $99,000 is the Parent Plus loan.
160. What did she say? 166,000. Man, I couldn't imagine, bro. I just couldn't imagine. Yo, 166,000 in student loans. Man, that is an investment. Oh, let me hear a little bit more.
We have about $112,485 for our mortgage, $10,522 for a car payment, it's just one car. $6,042 in credit cards, $3,022 in personal loans, and then $3,404 in medical miscellaneous debts. So there we are. Those are the numbers we are working with, and we are gonna try every side hustle possible to dig our way out in 2026. And I hope that you guys follow along my journey, and hopefully.
Yo, listen, I'm not tripping about the mortgage, even though I personally don't like mortgages. I don't like any debt whatsoever. The only debt that I'm okay with is if it's like, for example, if you put money up or you got a large sum of money, but you don't want to dump it into paying cash for something because the costs, like let's say, for example, you lease a car for your business or something like that. And you could either do a one-time payment lease or you can let that money sit and make money, you know what I'm saying, inside of the markets with stocks and stuff like that. And then you can leverage that money or real estate, and then you can leverage the money that you make from that in order to actually have that allocated towards whatever the lease is. So allocating money from a business perspective, but just from a pure consumer's perspective, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. $166,000 in student loans is egregious. That's disrespectful, if you ask me, because ain't no way in hell that a career, unless you are becoming a doctor, some form of an engineer that then turns into a CEO or something, it ain't no way in hell that you telling me that an education should cost that much. I don't know why more people don't actually utilize community colleges. Are y'all still looking down on community colleges? Because community college absolutely was well worth the investment. It was just a fraction of the credit hours, how much it cost per credit hour, and then it transferred into a major university. And nobody cares about where you go to because a lot of y'all are saying now schools are a scam, right? Which college is not a scam. You just have to be very, very careful and very, very intentional about what you go into when it comes to college, right? I was having a conversation with my daughter yesterday while we was at the game, or actually on the way to the game, and she was just telling me that she might not even be interested in going to college because she's more interested in something completely different. And so she still may go to college because I'm looking at the long term view of her playing a bigger role within the companies that I'm building personally, especially when it comes to real estate. But she doesn't have to. And I think that that's also a luxury because I can afford to pay it in cash and I don't have to take out no student loans. But if we were looking at it from the lens of a student loan, then I definitely would rethink the curriculum that she was going through, and she would absolutely have to finish. She would have to be a surgeon or some sort of a physician or something like that, right? She would absolutely have to do something like that. But to just think of $166,000 in student loans, and you're paying interest on that every single month. It's just mind-boggling to me, bro.
I'm here to inspire someone to do the same.
My life has officially gotten out of control, so let's talk about it so you feel better about yours. As of this morning, I have $186,056.76 worth of debt. That is almost $200,000 worth of debt. I know. Now that number by itself is just so large and so overwhelming that every time I look at it, I kind of just ignore it and I just move on with my day, and then I swipe my credit card and I buy something else because I don't even know really what to do about it at this point. But I am nothing if not ambitious. And what my ambition is telling me this morning is that we're going to fix this and we're going to take care of this one way or another. Of that $186,000 of debt, I have $54,597.36 in credit card debt, just credit card debt. And that's what we're going to tackle first. I am giving myself 52 weeks starting November 1st to pay off all $54,500 worth of credit card debt. So November 1st, 2025 to November 1st or October 31st, 2026, I'm going to pay off all let's round it and say all $55,000 worth of credit card debt. Now, is that even possible? I have no idea. That's a lot of money. I don't even know if I'm physically capable of doing that, but I'm going to spend the next year trying. I'm going to try every side hustle under the sun. I am going to throw as much money at it as I can, and I am going to get those credit cards down to zero if it is the last thing I do. My plan is to start on November 1st and to update weekly on how much I've made on side hustles, and then update monthly on where we are with our debt breakdown and paying off our credit cards. So if that sounds like your jam or you
$186,000 in debt is probably 10 times worse, considering that the other lady had $10,000 in credit card debt, but she had like 100 and something. I don't know. This is just insane. $166,000 in student loan debt, and then she has $186,000 of debt. And I was able to do a little bit of digging, and none of that is tied to a home. None of that is tied to a mortgage. All of that is just debt, period. And so I'm assuming that a large chunk of that also is student loan debt. But $54,000 in credit card debt is insane if you're not paying it off. And again, I'm talking about from a business perspective, but you got to pay this stuff off immediately because, and it's good that she's actually looking to tackle it and pay off the credit card debt first. And so I'm assuming that she's going to do a debt snowball. But tackling the credit cards first, even though the bigger chunk is the other ones, is probably better because I'm sure that she's paying the highest interest rates on her credit cards. I can't imagine what other type of debts that she had that would equal another $130,000 in debt. But that is insane to be giving that amount of money over to the banks. It's just crazy. But she's also dope for saying that she's going to go and pay it off, or she's going to hustle. If she's trying to pay off $54,000 in credit card debt, that means that you're going to literally be trying to make in 52 weeks, which is 1 year. What you'll basically be doing is throwing the equivalent of $5,000 to $6,000 a month towards it, I'm assuming. That's a lot. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tej Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I always like to link back to the content creators, so those will be down in the description. And I would like to know exactly how would you guys tackle paying this off? And if you guys are experiencing a similar situation, what does that look like and how are you tackling it? Let me know inside of the comments. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. We're going over Stock Club tomorrow.